My name is Gary Chicory Jr. Today is 22 July 2026. This assignment is troubleshooting malfunctions in lever action firearms, and it's for class FTT 131, Maintenance and Troubleshooting of Firearms. The sources I use for today's video are going to be Andy, Lever Action Safeties from Shooters Forum, 19 August 2008 at shooterforum.com, and also Rick Kasner, FTT 131, SDI, updated December 2025. In this week's assignment, I had a customer bring in a Winchester lever action rifle and they had an incident with it. Now, from what they told me, my interpretation of it was that I dropped my rifle while the action was open. The impact closed the action by moving the lever up. I tried to fire it afterwards, but the weapon malfunctioned and it wouldn't fire. Since the drop, the action has not been smooth and it has had a failure to fire. So the components that are more than likely an issue in this firearm are going to be your fire control group, and the linkage may be broken and or damaged. The failures that it's experiencing is a failure to fire, and if everything else is functioning, it just might not be up to spec or par for a lever action. I would use the terminology that the customer used and then explain it to them in more of industrial terms to help maybe educate them into how to speak properly when it comes to firearms, and to help them understand. So as I'm talking back to them, there's terms that I'm using, I can associate it with how they explained it to me. Now, part two of this assignment, first thing I do would be clear the weapon as normal, make sure there's nothing in the chamber, nothing in the magazine tube. And then I would rod the barrel to ensure that there were no obstructions in the barrel. After that, the other signs that I would be looking for while I inspected it would be to see how the action feels as I cycled it. And I would look to see if it locked or fully goes into battery. And while I was cycling the action, I would also be listening for any kind of grinding or how smooth it's not, and feeling for how that action's actually moving. Now, this is a lever action firearm. The main failure they're experiencing is a failure to fire. Upon further inspection, we may discover that there might be a failure to lock. So initially, I would perform a function test. No rounds, no nothing, just to see how that cycle, the action feels. Then, if that seemed to work properly, I would move on to the dummy rounds and make sure that it was working. Again, if it worked, then I would go to live fire and see if the weapon would actually fire. I would verify these in that order, just to move progressively from the simplest all the way to the most complex. The biggest reason for the different results may just come down to if the operator is short stroking the lever, might not be able to put it fully into battery, or if the internal components are in fact damaged, the constant pulling and cycling of the weapon could be damaging them further, and it might just eventually break on us. So that might yield some different results from what they saw. To me, the leading issue for this problem is probably going to be the linkage in the fire control group are damaged or misaligned. A lever action firearm relies heavily on proper timing with the FCG, or the fire control group, and all the components internally. The components that are more than likely damaged or could be damaged are the lever link and the pin. The locking lugs could be damaged, the trigger and the sear, and maybe even the hammer notch and the hammer pivot pin. I think the components, especially because the lever action usually needs to be fully locked or in battery in order for it to operate. Now, in order to explain this to the customer with what's wrong with the firearm, more than likely, when it fell, there was a damaged or bent lever linkage, maybe damage to the locking lugs. This would prevent the bolt from fully locking into place. In Winchester lever action firearms, it's a safety mechanism that if the firearm isn't fully in battery, that it will not allow the hammer to drop, hitting the firing pin, allowing it to fire. So if the bolt fully isn't battery, the weapon isn't going to fire. Until I disassemble the firearm, I won't know 100% sure of what's broken, but if I were to discover broken or bent damaged parts, I would replace them. And then from there, after the parts have been replaced and inspected, I would do a headspace check to ensure that it is within specs. After that, I would do a function check use the dummy rounds, and then live fire it to see if what I did accomplished and fixed the problem. So for part 3, I went and did my awesome internet searching and investigating again, and I came across this forum post and it had a few inaccuracies in it. So the first one was, the forum post said that the weapon was loaded and that it wasn't feeding after it fell, when the customer actually stated that it was not loaded and it wasn't having any issues feeding. So right there, that was an inaccuracy. The next one, he said that because of the broken extractor, more than likely, because of the fall, that's the reason why it won't fire. As I've stated before in here, that's not true. The extractor doesn't have anything to do with firing the weapon. It has to do with the weapon being fully in battery. And then it says that, again, the lever doesn't require full lock in order to fire. As I've stated exhaustingly in this post, or in this assignment so far, the weapon does need to be in battery, full battery, in order for it to shoot. It's a fail-safe or a safety feature in a lever action Winchester. Now, the other thing that they said was the best first repair was to replace the magazine spring. Again, it's not having a failure to feed. It's feeding just fine. Everything's coming out, it's going into the chamber, it's just not firing. So that would be unnecessary to replace that spring unless you notice that it was actually damaged. And lastly, it says they would go ahead and they would make it a lighter trigger pull so the weapon would fire more efficiently. That has nothing to do with it. I actually just replaced the spring in an AR-15 and I put it in backwards so it hit very lightly, and all it was giving me was light primer strikes. So lightening up the spring in the trigger is not going to allow it to fire. It actually could cause some safety issues and you're making the weapon unsafe. So hopefully you've learned something as I have this week. Thank you and have a great day.